Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? It is the week 1 recap of the How About That podcast. And per usual, you are not looking at two winners. Rarely is there one. Luckily, for the first time in 12 years, we do have one. But for my friend on the other side, not so much. And we'll get into all that. We'll get into different segments, talk about every game, as always, talk about every player. It was good to have football just back. There was so much going on. The witching hour, the amazing Sunday night game leading up to this amazing Monday night game that we will get to in the preview next week. But Justin, football is back. I know it wasn't a great day for you, but are you ready?
I wish I was still waiting for week 1 to happen.
Yeah, I figured. Burke, let's go.
Yeah. Okay. I be going hard every day, shooting far, NBA, NFL, on replay, MLB, major wave, other artists, minor league. I wish we could stop and see who was in your top 5. Scratch that, top 3. MJ, LeBron, and every other discussion. Cross you up while the shooter in the corner be cutting. Know I'm new to the game, call this my introduction. While these topics hitting harder than the snare and percussion. Why do all these other sports opinions always go and lack facts? Only real place left to listen? How about that?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the How About That podcast presented by Bleacherheads. You can check them out at bleacherheads.com. I know that, Zach, some of us may not be wearing much NFL team gear for the rest of the year, so when you got to find something else to rep, get yourself some Bleacherheads. Like I said, we're going to have some exciting designs coming out over the next couple weeks, and I know that's what I'm going to be wearing on football Sundays moving forward. So check them out, bleacherheads.com. Check out their Instagram for anything. And yeah, so we'll let you know as merch gets dropped. But Zach, we're doing this Monday evening. Obviously, we know how I feel, but how are you feeling? First time in 12 years being 1-0. How's it feeling for you?
It feels good. I mean, we talk about it every time when one of our teams wins versus loses. The feeling on Monday, I'm in a great mood today. I'm in a great mood, and things are just going well. And it's just amazing when you win and you have so much time in between before the next game to just enjoy it. Like I forgot it. I just fully expected to lose because that's just what we do every time. So it feels amazing. Drove up early Sunday morning to get back for the game. Always overwhelmed at the Colts game because I'm constantly checking other scores for Survivor, for betting, for whatever it is, fantasy, you name it. So there's always just a lot going on during these games. So by the time I finally get to sit down on my couch for the 4 o'clock slate, I was just happy to be back. I was just happy to be back on the couch watching football and just taking it all in. So it was a good Sunday for me. I know outside of the Giants, which we will definitely get to, not a great day. Were you at least able to enjoy football outside of that?
No. Yeah, it started off I remember how I said last year, I had the fumble on the first drive, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't even get one of those. It was immediate, just down the drain. And the 1 o'clocks, you can never enjoy when your team's doing it, but then the 4 o'clocks were going on, and I was just kind of sitting there, just zoned out, couldn't really get myself into it, just watching the games mindlessly, thinking about how I had to do accounting homework at some point. So shout out Hebner, we were talking about where to find certain things in 10Ks. I get how we get confused with these corporations because they don't. They send you every which way for documents. They bury that stuff. So, but if anybody needs to know about how much PepsiCo paid KPMG for their audit in 2023, let me know. I can put you in the right position. So yeah, it was a terrible Sunday. Didn't sleep well. Kind of been shaky all day. So obviously we'll get into it eventually. It's been terrible.
Can I tell you a good thing?
Yeah. I love good things.
As of week 1, no matter how it shakes out tonight, you are in first place in the Caterpillar competition. So
yes,
you went 12-3. You got your upset pick right, so it bumped you to 12-3. Just a terrific start for you. I'm 10-5 is what I had, so I'm 2 games back early. So a nice little start for you there.
Yeah, feels good playing with a lead. Something I'm not comfortable with. Hopefully I'm not John Harbaugh with a lead. I feel like I could get a little cute with it. But yeah, that was something at one point I was like, man, like we're talking potentially undefeated here.
Yeah.
So that did feel good. I think that the Raiders, I think, were the only underdog to win prior to.
I think so.
I guess the Chargers won. Never mind. But
the Chargers won. Good call.
I think Sunday wise, and the 1-4s, the Raiders were the only underdog to win.
Yeah. And then the Bills ended up being an underdog, but it was basically a pick 'em. So.
And was there any blowouts besides the Giants?
Colts.
I guess the Colts, but like blowouts that I guess people would pick because nobody's going to pick the Commanders. I don't think people pick the Commanders and the Colts. So.
No, I mean, no, it was pretty tight. And that, usually week 1, it's just weird. It's tight and you don't know what you're going to get. But we decided to change things up a little bit. Just like in the preview. Going to make it a little more segment-based, have more of a conversation about these games rather than just this game. Like, that we don't want to talk about, you don't care about, we don't care about. Sorry. So we're breaking it down to 3 different topics, right? Favorite watch of the week, pretty self-explanatory. Most impressed of the week, which is just what impressed you the most. Could be a team for a certain reason. They won, they did something well. And on the opposite side, the most concerned. And that will also have our player of the week on offense and defense, or miscellaneous, and of course the Bozo. We'll see what other games we even have to talk about after that. And if they're not on there, it's probably for a reason. So
yeah.
I'm going to give you the floor here. What was your favorite watch of the week?
Zach, in the middle of all of this 1 o'clock stuff going on, 2 teams with 2 quarterbacks that traded places that had the lowest total going into the week. We named it Big Ten Game of the Week. We're talking about how it's going to be a punt fest, not a lot of points.
Yeah.
Every time I looked up, somebody was scoring. The score was changed. It was truly remarkable. It was fun. Like, guys were getting into it. I'm going Pittsburgh versus the New York Jets.
Yeah.
That's the football game that, like, if it wasn't for the Bills-Ravens game that's going on, like, this would be talked about as the most number 1. Now, it's an interesting one because I don't know if we walked away being like, wow, either of these teams impressed us way more. Like, is this a team now to worry about in the AFC moving forward? I don't know if there's an overreaction on each side because it was like the defenses were terrible and offensively, I think the Jets' run game was really impressive. Like, Fields looked really good just in his ability to make plays with his feet, and like when he threw the ball, like he did a decent job with it. Kind of shows like the importance of a system. Aaron Rodgers he looked like a Hall of Fame 45-year-old. Like there was nothing that blew you out of the water, but guys were just making plays. Jalen Ramsey blowing up Garrett Wilson to end the game was like it just felt old school. Like we had Jalen Ramsey, that old school guy, just talking crap to everybody, going around like seeing the highlights of these run schemes, and it was just an enjoyable watch to have in the middle. Just something that I was laughing at during all of the hoopla going on during the 1 o'clock slate.
I mean, you put it perfectly. I was like at the Colts game, so I'm just refreshing my app, which I use Yahoo because ESPN's awful. Yep. So I was using the Yahoo app, and the same thing as you. Like I was refreshing it, I'm like, someone scored again. Like, I did not understand what was happening. Every time I refreshed it, someone else was scoring, and I couldn't understand it. Then you go back and watch everything, and like it wasn't like crazy plays. Like they were just kind of driving down. Other than the Jets who fumbled the kickoff return, which ultimately lost them the game. That was a quick turnaround score for Pittsburgh. Like they were just driving, making plays on each side of the ball. But also, like you said, I didn't come away thinking, 1, maybe the Jets will surprise teams this year, or 2, oh, the Steelers are a problem. Like, I was concerned about both teams, honestly. Like, your defenses are supposed to be good, and even if you get those corrected, it's not like you're going to keep up this high offensive firepower. So, it was the same thing as you. Enjoyable for what it was, but I'm not taking anything from that game at all.
It felt like SEC, like LSU, Texas A&M a couple years ago, where I think that was prior to the national championship, where you're like, both teams are 8-4, and it's like, kind of fun and surprising, but it's like I didn't walk away being like, man, these teams need to be talked about in, top 10 rankings moving forward. The one funny thing talking about defense was I think if you looked at like the run mapping of the Jets, they never ran at TJ Watt, which is just hilarious. Like, there was just a blank on the right side of the field. And it was like, yeah, that's where TJ Watt was. We avoided him at all costs.
It's just always that way. And for the Steelers, like, God, even watching that game in the second half, highlights and him getting, I don't know how Aaron's going to play every game. Like, he's just old. Like, he can't move anymore. He's still slinging it, like you said, but I don't know. I came away a little concerned long term about how this thing's going to work for the Pittsburgh Steelers this season. Like, it was fun.
How does it?
Can he do that every Sunday? I don't know. So, but I mean, that game was a blast.
Shout out to our Steelers correspondent, Calvin Austin. He had told me to shout out 4 receptions, 70 yards, and a tutty. So if anybody
he was awesome.
Listened to that preview, he was dead on there. So shout out to the Steelers correspondent, Louis. And
Boswell, just like, I mean, he hit that from like 80. Like, he's like probably the most underrated kicker in the league. Like, I feel like he does this constantly for them. He bails them out from distance all the time. He doesn't really get talked about. Like, he went out there, and I don't think there was a single doubt. Like, oh, he's just going to nail a 60-yarder. Like, that was, I mean, he killed that thing. It hit the top of the net. Like, that was a bomb.
There's nothing worse than the, like, when you're watching the game, like, you're you know, it's your team, it's the opponent that you're playing or whatever, and you see a guy like that come out, and you're just like, this is 60 yards. Like, yeah, we're not, that's not going our way. But
some other guy from like 38, you're like, I think he's going to miss this.
The Browns.
Perfect example. Like, yeah, what was that, 28? Like, that dude, like, this guy's not making it.
I was like, oh my God, they're going to lose. And then all of a sudden the ball went to the Bengals, and I was like, how did this happen? How did they get a turnover? No, they missed the chip shot.
Insane.
That's just classic Browns. But the one thing is Aaron Rodgers, classic Aaron Rodgers, being like, it felt really good to beat everybody in the Jets. You know, the Jets organization.
We said it beforehand. He was going to make a comment.
There wasn't one person, I don't think, that's in the Jets building that, like, was there when he was there, kind of thing. Like, everybody's gone. It's like Garrett Wilson's still there, but, you know.
Right. Everyone. Yeah. And you know what? Aaron Glenn telling him we don't really want you. Like, I don't blame Aaron Glenn. Like, you are a nightmare to play with now. So, yeah. It's all rainbows and sunshine right now. Give it like 7 weeks and he starts pouting and everyone gets mad. Like, I don't blame Aaron Glenn at all.
And he had a southern accent, I thought, again. Which
well,
tells us
the way he was getting hit, I think the perks might have been, that's not surprising because he was getting
That's
rocked.
A good thing, though. If I'm a Steelers fan, like, I want that. I want southern accent. Aaron
That's a good Aaron. Fun game, though.
Fun
I love
game.
It. My favorite watch of the week, I mean, you can't not have it in there for one of us. It's Bills-Ravens. That's a game that just makes every team or every fan base, if you have like a average quarterback to even good quarterback, you watch that game and you just say, like, that's a different planet. It's a different level of football. That is a world where I can't even imagine my team getting to. It's not just the down to down. Like, they don't just make one miraculous play. Like, they do it every series. Like, Lamar and Josh, every series were making plays that guys in the league will make once or twice a season. Like, it was unbelievable. So just the entertainment part of it was great. I know you talked about it in the preview. Like, look, this game means nothing. It's true. Like, this game has no real impact. This is also why I can never trust the damn Ravens to win the Super Bowl. Like, we can't trust them. Like, they are.
It was the perfect Ravens game.
It was no one can beat the Ravens but the Ravens, and then sure enough, they go put up 40 and then are like, here you go. Like, every time with them. It's just crazy.
I had texted it, but like the entire time I was just like, this game's not over. Just because something's eventually going to happen. And it did. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait, here we go. Here's, what the Bills are now in it. The Ravens have a chance to end it, and we can get into that play call, the decision at the end of the game or later. But, yeah, it was a thrilling ball game. I think you said it best where it's like it's not the same game that I watch on a regular basis. It's one of those things where you're like 3rd and 15 feels like 3rd and 2, and you're just like, how, like, you get them to 2nd or 3rd and long, and you're just like, oh my God, I need him to throw it incomplete because it's just, you just know it's gonna, like, he's gonna scramble. Like, I'm talking, when I say I'm talking both players. Like, they're gonna make a miraculous throw, they extend the play. It's such a humbling watch where you're like, that's how far 28 franchises are away from winning Super Bowls.
Yep.
And I think when we talk about the AFC, it's like, that is the pinnacle right now for the AFC and the NFC. What can anybody compete with the likes of that? we won't have to answer that question until February maybe.
Right.
But yeah, if you're walking away from it, I think it's like, okay, both are legit teams this year. The Ravens, we only have to worry about them playing themselves, and I'm not going to really worry about either of these teams until January.
Nope.
There's just no reason to.
The Bills clearly have issues defensively. It doesn't really matter. They gave up 200-something rushing yards, 40 piece in one. Isn't that funny about quarterbacks, though? We've talked about this before, where like bad quarterbacks, 3rd and 6 beyond, you're like, it's over.
No chance.
Great quarterbacks, I want them 3rd and 1. I want them 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 3. Because like you said, 3rd and 10, they're backing up. They have all day. Bad things are going to happen. 3rd and 2, I'm like, they may run it. Like they can't. They do a short pass. Like we have a chance. But yeah, when those guys are 3rd and 10, it's terrifying because it's longer developing plays where they have a chance to run around and make you look like fools. Like it's just terrible.
It's crazy because like once the pocket collapses and they're still on their feet, you're like, oh god, here we go again.
Yep.
But you want to know what the difference is too? Is just like the poise and where their eyes are.
Yes.
Like watch Josh Allen when a play breaks down. Like the entire time he's facing forward, he's moving along. He's the calmest guy in the world. Lamar's the same thing when he had that 75-yard run that only gained 20 yards. Where it's just like he gets turned around, spun around, and it's just there's no freaking out. They're just calm the entire time. The guys are getting open, but also they don't even have to get that open because the ball is just going to be placed where they need it to be. It's why you say you almost need to just draft a quarterback every year. Because it's like you're not going to be able to fully compete in this league until you have something like that. And that's why you take the shots on talent. You just say upside because if you can get that, it puts you in a different sphere where you can let up 200 yards rushing. You can have the worst tackling performance I've seen where I'm like, I don't want if I have a son to watch that because he's going to get worse at tackling and it doesn't matter. It all went away. 45 minutes into the game, the Bills are like, we have a lot to figure out. And then 15 minutes later, because of Josh Allen, it's like, no, wait, we're fine. Keon Coleman, bringing that, all of a sudden, he's just kind of digs. Shakir was making the plays when he needed to. Both tight ends were there. James Cook was awesome. It's just the weapons that are surrounding them, they're a problem. And then, the Ravens for the first 45 minutes, it looks like they were just going to walk to the Super Bowl.
To the Super Bowl. They were, It was awesome. It was cool to see Josh at the end kind of flex into the crowd, get the crowd fired up. He's been very stoic and says the right things now, does all the right stuff. You can't not be fired up after that. It was a cool moment. It was a cool comeback. The decision at the end, it's easy for me to say they should have gone for it. I just would have gone for it because that game was so out of whack. It was 40-38. They can't stop you. You've only fumbled it. I just would have gone. I hated and it's one play, but in that context of the drive, I hated the jet sweep to Zay Flowers there with Lamar. It's just I know it's a read option, he could keep it, but still, you have Lamar and Derrick Henry for 3 plays, probably 4. Use them, and that's what the Ravens do, man. They freak out. They freak out at the end of games. But I thought they should have gone for it because they weren't stopping the Bills. So.
Yeah, you said that immediately when they punted it. You're like, this is stupid. I was kind of playing devil's advocate, but a guy, I forget what podcast it was I was listening to, he perfectly described my emotions where it's in the moment I was like, you need to punt this. And then I saw Josh Allen come out on the field and you're like, okay, maybe you shouldn't have punted that. You should have just ended on your own terms because they don't need a field goal to tie the game. They need a field goal to win the game. Yeah. And then you say to yourselves well, you want to trust your defense. They let up a field goal with 30 seconds left and no timeouts, let alone a minute with they were gonna do what they needed to do. We saw what they did in the first half. I think that they're gonna be able to do it with more time. So
insane. Just a really fun game though for Sunday night to get things started. Unbelievable. It was fun.
After last year's just primetime disappointments, to get that one early felt good. We've had really good primetime games, I think, so far this year. But we're also not going to get a game like that we went from that to we're getting JJ McCarthy on Monday night. It's not going to be fun.
That was Chiefs Rams that one Monday night where we're this thing, some team may score 100. And it was just no one could stop anyone. And it was awesome. It's fun.
And that's the game that we talked about for 5 years. And now we're going to talk about this one for 5 years until, whoever it is that's in college right now or high school comes into the league and lights it on fire in 2030.
It was a blast. I had fun. Most impressed. Who did you come away from this weekend most impressed by?
So I came away most impressed with the Chargers. We're talking Brazil. I said I didn't care about this game. Justin Herbert looked like the Justin Herbert that I've been defending for the last 4 years, maybe 6 years, whatever it was. The poise, the ball placement, like Quentin Johnson all of a sudden looked like a reliable target. Keenan Allen being back, like we just saw how much that brought. Hampton, the rookie running back, like his ability to just run downfield. When he went downfield, like he was going downfield, which was awesome. And it just all comes together with Herbert. And he put the nail in the coffin. He was making throws. You're like, that arm talent is amazing. Joe Alt was awesome. Like that performance offensively was what we wanted the Chargers to be under Staley and what they never were, and what we wanted them to be last year under Harbaugh for year one. We saw what happens where they just kind of bring in the weapons around Herbert and let him work. They were in control the entire game. You know, every time, like, it was another guy where it's just like when he came in the field to like kind of lock the doors and just settle the win, I felt full confidence in him. And I think that speaks a lot, especially with who was on the other side of the field when they have not been able to beat the Chiefs at all. So defensively, you know, we'll get into the Chiefs offense of maybe I don't need to be as impressed with them.
Right.
But also just who they are, like just to kind of stifle the Chiefs besides like a big play to Kelsey. I thought both sides of the ball were really impressive for them in Brazil.
You've been the biggest Herbert defender, and for the Herbert, I mean, is there anyone out there, sorry, Nick Mike, if maybe you, but just because it's your team, I mean, who's Tua over Herbert at this point? Like, they just can't even exist, right? Like...
it's funny, I got a couple text messages, but I feel like I didn't get enough for all the years for all the people we went head-to-head against in Britton Tavern and Thanksgiving 2022 or whatever it was. I feel like I'm still waiting for some text messages there, but I don't know if Ban sent a text. I feel like he did. I'll have to check that. That's the big one. And if you're listening, Ban, I want the text. I want the apology.
That was like you said, like that was the first time it was like, okay, they're letting Herbert cook. Like they are letting him play quarterback the way we want him to. Keenan Allen puts on a Chargers uniform again and looks like he's just like 3 years in. Keenan Allen, like he's just 7 catches or something. Unbelievable. I saw a funny tweet. Like people are leaving Brazil. Like people in Brazil are leaving that game thinking Quentin Johnson's the best receiver in the NFL. Like, they have no idea. Like that guy's the best. Like how big and fast he is. Like, but that's what Herbert has. And then he's got Ladd McConkey, and Hampton now, and they can be fun. And like you said, Joe Alt, like Slater, I know he just got paid, but like he's not playing left tackle again for the Chargers. Like you're not going to move Joe Alt back to right tackle in a year. Like Alt is never leaving now. He was awesome.
He's going on dates with Madison Beard and Justin Herbert.
Herbert's just cooking right now. Everything's going well for them. That was really impressive. And the Chiefs side, like this is why all summer people did the mentioning Josh Allen and Lamar before Mahomes. It's not out of disrespect. It's just like, you're still boring. And we thought you were going to be fun, and you're really boring. And like you said, the credit goes there to the Chargers. And I know Worthy got hurt, who's a big part of their explosiveness, and Rashee Rice is suspended. But damn, like, I wanted more from the Chiefs in week 1. After all summer, we're hearing about, like, all we worked on is explosives and deep plays. And they look just as boring as they did last year. And it's concerning.
I was listening to Simmons live last night when I was trying to go to sleep, and I think he perfectly encompassed what the Chiefs are right now. And it is the Patriots in between 2011 and their next runs in 2016, where it's like we have the coach, we have the quarterback, like we have the identity in a way, but we're also having to reinvent ourselves a little bit. And that's kind of what I thought they were now. Worthy leaving that game that early, like the offense just kind of like they didn't. Now they're down their top 2 receivers. It's like Hollywood Brown is your number 1 guy.
That's fair.
It's hard to do. Mahomes was making plays still that were really impressive, but this isn't a team as of now that you believe can put up 30 points, right? They have to rely on the defense, and the defense wasn't making the plays. Like,
No.
they just weren't. Spags, I don't know if it wasn't his best game or if the Chargers' offensive philosophy was just better. If I'm a Chiefs fan, I'm not walking away worried. It's just more of just like hey, this might just be a year, and maybe it's 2 years where it's like, we'll get to the playoffs, we'll see what we can do, maybe we can go on a run, but we do need a little bit more of an identity. We need to reinvent ourselves a little bit. We need to get some younger talent in here, because in 3 years, like, I don't think Spags ever leaves.
No,
I mean, Reed's gonna. I don't know how many years Reed has left in him, but like Mahomes is there. Like, you're in a spot where you get a great young tight end, you get a great young receiver, and defensively, I think they've been really good in their scouting department of drafting guys. Like, in 3 years, they could all of a sudden be the juggernaut, and we're like, wait, oh, that's what they're like again. So I thought that comparison of what the Patriots were to what the Chiefs are right now was kind of the perfect way to encompass them after that game.
That is, because, we're still not sitting here being like, oh, this team's missing the playoffs. That's not what we mean. Like, this team's going to make the playoffs. Hell, they could be a 1 or 2 seed, but there's a different feel right now, for sure. And I don't think, I just don't think it's the same. And that doesn't mean that they're missing the playoffs, but I don't think it's Super Bowl runaways either. But, I mean, credit to the Chargers. They were awesome. So, I like that one.
They deserve all the credit. And I'll tell you what, the Chiefs, they're going to play prime time in 2 weeks and going to look really good. So.
Yep, I'm not worried about the Chiefs. Like you said, once he got hurt, I'm like, okay, we're looking at Juju again. Like this, he's got no one out there.
Yeah.
But I'm not worried.
Like, who was their top pass catchers receiver-wise? I mean, Kelsey made that big play. Like, that's the thing, too. It's like, I don't know. I think Kelsey, we're not going to have to worry about him anymore.
No, not in like the way you used to, at least. Yeah, who led them receiving?
Hollywood Brown had 10 receptions.
Wow.
Which Travis Kelsey had, Juju had 5. And, 15 of the 24 completions are right there. 21 of the 38 targets are between those two. Like, those are wide receiver 3 and 4.
That's just not going to cut it.
Yeah, then you got Tyquan Thornton, it's just...
But you add Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy to that group in 6 weeks, and all of a sudden it looks completely different. So
give me a call. I'll trade Neighbors for 5 first-rounders. You want it that badly?
Wow.
I need the picks, so.
You too. No, great performance by the Chargers. They deserve the credit. My performance is going to go to the Packers for the week, and it just felt like with the Packers, they have all this hype. We find out the Parsons news 2 minutes before we're about to record. We both put them in the Super Bowl, and you're almost like, man, there's so much hype to this team right now. What's this going to look like? And they stepped on the field, that opening drive, and the way they performed, like a team that fully is ready for the expectations. Like, they just had a confidence, a swagger, preparation to them. They were ready to go. So it was a really good performance. And on the other side, the Lions, it was awful. I think that's fair to say. When we talk about Dan Campbell, I just think this season is going to be very equivalent to what we saw in Philly 2 years ago. And just how we talked about with the Chiefs, I don't think the Lions are going to go 7-10. I think they're going to be a playoff team. They're probably going to lose in the first round, and they're going to have to reset with new coordinators. It is just you can say Dan Campbell is I saw all the tweets mocking him, and he could be bad, whatever. I don't know. But Sirianni won a Super Bowl the next year because he got better coordinators. But does that mean he's just a bad coach? No. Sirianni's probably a good coach, even though you and I for 3 years didn't want to really say it. You just need good coordinators for good teams. That's fine to say. And this first week was a horrible showing for the Lions coordinators. So I'm not willing to be out on Dan Campbell because of this, but I do think it's going to look different, and I do think it's concerning for the Lions this year. We'll see how they grow, but really impressed by the Packers. They were awesome.
Yeah, the Packers, it felt like they could have scored 80 points. I don't know. 27-13, I feel like didn't do justice with how dominating it was. We'll get into Parsons later. I'm going to give him a helping sticker. The way that changed the game was great. I think offensively, Jordan Love looked great. The run game looked great. They just kind of did everything we needed them to do, which is awesome to see because so many people come into that spot and they underperformed. This could have been a close game at home. If you lose it early, too, it's all right, well, now we're 0-1. We lost one of our 3 home divisional games. Like, did we do the right things? We'd be talking about the Parsons snap count. Like, this could have gone terribly wrong, but instead it's no, I actually came away feeling exactly how I wanted to be as a guy who said the Packers were going to win the Super Bowl. Like, that's everything I wanted to. So they do deserve all the credit. I think when we talk about the Lions, like, Sirianni was getting called to fire his first year with 2 new coordinators.
Right.
And Dan Campbell, like, you got 2 new coordinators. They looked like a team that didn't know their identity.
Yep.
I think offensively, that's a bad matchup to have to get. This is, the Packers. Like, you would have loved to play the Lions or somebody who was just like, not the Lions, sorry, like the Dolphins or the Giants or anybody the Saints. Like, somebody were like, all right, we can.
This is probably the worst team they could have played.
Exactly. Like, and so I'm not worried about anything. Like, I just think it's going to take a couple weeks to just get in the groove. And that's with any, like, new offensive coordinator. Very rarely do we see a team just walk in with a brand new identity and it's like day one, no worries. I think that people have done a good job of not fully overreacting to what we saw. But, you got the Bears and Ravens the next 2 weeks. But then they kind of go on a little bit of a run and, Browns, Bengals, Chiefs. Like, games where I feel like it's good competition, but also you don't need a perfect game or an A game to win. Like, you can win with a B, high C game. So
there's too much talent on that team to not. They're going to be fine. They're going to figure it out.
And they end the year with, after Thanksgiving, when they play the Packers, they go Cowboys, Rams, Steelers, Vikings, Bears. Like, they could end 5-0.
Yep.
Easily.
Yep. As they get comfortable, figure out who they are. Totally.
Yeah. So we'll have these conversations, I think, next October. Then we can start talking about Dan Campbell. We'll put a calendar invite. October 2026 is when we'll start judging Dan Campbell.
Yep. I agree. But I'm sure first, like, the stupid shows, we're like, we're just not going to do it. We're not going to do it.
No.
Let's flip it. Most concerning.
I mean, how many weeks does Mike McDaniels have left?
1 or 2.
That was astonishingly bad.
It's crazy.
And we'll get into, obviously, I got my Danny Dimes jersey hanging up right there.
Yeah.
There's not one thing that you can walk away for the Dolphins being like, at least we had that. Tua's QBR was 2. The only reason why his number wasn't more than his QBR is because it's like he can't, like, it wasn't 0.
Yep.
Tyreek Hill, like, hasn't had a 30-yard play.
That was crazy.
2 years. Their defense, that was supposed to be, like, their biggest thing, was terrible. Shredded.
Killed.
The shtick, like, he doesn't seem like a leader. I love him. Like, is he a leader of men? I mean, I'd argue no. They are potentially the worst team in football. And that's coming from a Giants fan.
And we said that. We said that in the preview. We looked at the odds. Like, we looked at it. Like, because rarely do you see this much smoke in the offseason, and then week 1 it's actually as bad as everyone's been saying it was going to be. Like, it was terrible.
There's week 1 overreaction. I don't think any of this is an overreaction.
It's not. It was. We're not doing it enough justice. No, it was horrible. Like, I saw a tweet that was like, I can't wait for Mike McDaniels to be the offensive coordinator for the Lions. I'm like, yeah, honestly, yeah, that'd be great.
Dude, he'd be great, and like that would be all of a sudden we're talking Lions Super Bowl like next year.
Yeah,
because that's where he fits. He's not a head coach. Like, we need him to get a little paler.
Yep.
Not have to lead the team speeches. Just sit in the room with Goff. Just go from there. And
the biggest thing, and Will texted me this too. If the game is going that poorly, pull the sweatpants, the legs all the way down. The floods, when you're down 30-0 to the Colts, pull it down, man. It looks terrible.
How small did he look on the sidelines?
Dude, you can see him because he is so small. Like, he sticks out like a sore thumb. Like, he has no respect. Like, they were already fighting. Heck, like, they were ready to fight and get mad. Waddle and Tyreek before the game even started. Like, it's bad. It was bad.
That had to be an interesting one of, like, I would be more inclined to watch the sideline.
Yeah, because I sat on the away
game.
side. So I was watching them, and it looked like a team that is like 2-12 and sick of each other. And it was for the first half of week 1. It was bad. It was bad. I guess I'll talk about the flip side then of that.
Yeah.
Would be the Colts. And, like, look, I could do this whole thing. I could do this whole thing of, like, Daniel's played great. This is my fear. We're going to go 9-8 or 10-7. They're going to re-sign him, and I'm going to live in this world where we're just kind of mediocre. But I'm going to tell you what, I refuse to do that. I will not be a depressed fan unless I have it enough with this organization. I get it enough. Like, I don't care what happens. I'm going to take this game by game, week by week. The guy was awesome. The guy was awesome. And it's okay to say. And I'm very comfortable saying this with you, despite how awkward it could be all year, because you feel the same way about him. You've been waiting. Like, you've seen this. That's why, like, you're not – there's no spite coming from you with him playing well for us because, like, you're mad at your own team, not jealous of him doing it here. Like, it's not any of that, I feel like. So I'm okay saying it. He was awesome. And the bet Shane made was on himself, saying, I just need a guy that can operate an offense and play at a high level. And collectively, when you're coaching offensive line weapons, this is the bet, like the most Daniels had, as I alluded to in the preview. And that was the dream. Like, if it's going to look like the best version, that's it. He was decisive multiple times in the game. A key fourth down I saw, and then Shane alluded to it. He goes up, he makes a check, he gets us into the right play, hits Josh Downs for a 4-yard out. He made big throws when he needed to. He avoided turnovers. I couldn't believe it. Like, the crowd, it was a weird crowd because
I was going to ask about how the crowd, like, how it changed over time.
The crowd came in feeling how I did. Like, no optimism, no excitement.
Yep.
No one told us that the team was going to run out together. I guess they did it for Jim. So it felt like they were afraid to announce Daniel is how I took it. But I guess that wasn't their intention. We score, like, the crowd never really got into it because they were so shocked. And then by the third quarter, people were like, F it. This is awesome. And now everyone's shifted to the dime world. And, like, we're team dimes here now. And I'm happy for him. Like, that was clearly the team loves him. That was evident. Look, we're not going to play this well every week. He's not going to play that well every week. Lou is not going to be that good defensively every week. But, man, it was just nice to see good coaching and what it can look like operationally. And it makes sense why they chose him. Like I said, you're playing probably the worst team in the NFL. You got Denver next week. So we'll see what we're talking about in 7 days. But, damn, I felt happy. And I'm just going to take it game by game and week by week because I'm not going to live in this depressing world when we win a football game.
Yeah, and I mean, you said it. Like, we played the worst team in football, but you know what? You looked like a team playing the worst team in football, and that's the biggest thing. That's what
Scott said too.
Yep. Daniel Jones didn't. He scored on every single drive. The offense scored on every single drive, and, like, I don't care who. Like, I don't care what we're talking about here for week 1 in the system of a new thing. You could have won this game 21-8, and I think we'd be talking about, like, we'd be having a similar conversation. But no, like, it was great. And I think when we talk about Daniel Jones, like, obviously I've been a big believer. I've continued to believe in him. And I would love for him to win a Super Bowl. Like, that, I think that'd be truly electric. But when we talk about quarterbacks in the NFL, we do this weird thing of, it's like, yeah, but I think he's a system guy. Okay? You know what? There's 32 jobs in the NFL. Maybe 5 of them aren't system quarterbacks, right?
Yep.
Everybody else, like, if you don't get the generational talent that comes around generationally, not that often, like, you have to learn how to win with what you got left. And for Steichen to say, this is the guy, this is the system, he can run the system, and you know what? He ran the system damn well on Sunday. Like, it was awesome. He was putting the ball where he needed to do. Like, he doesn't have the best arm talent, but he's able to place the ball where he needs to place the ball, and he was doing that. Like, it wasn't like he was throwing dots to people's chests, but there was that one ball to Pittman on the sidelines where it's like in between 2 defenders right in the basket. It's like he does that. He had the time to sit back. When he needed to run, he could run. Yeah. It's just, I'm not going to sit here and say Daniel Jones is a generational talent, because he's not. And, like, I've never said he is, but I think he can be a good NFL quarterback, and that's what we saw. And so I agree, you're going to play Denver next week. We'll see how it looks there. Obviously, I would expect some regression, but
certainly.
At least there's some sort of confidence of, hey, he was hitting the big play. it wasn't all just long, sustained drives. You have Jonathan Taylor if you need to. Pittman was great. Downs was great. Tyler Warren had I think, the first 3 targets. It's like, okay, all of a sudden, how do we need to attack this? Like, Steichen is known as just an offensive guru. He's able to put, like, that's why you guys were so successful under Gardner, because it's like he can call plays and do changes in philosophy for whatever it calls.
Yep.
Well, with Daniel Jones, I feel like when you want to take the shot, you can take the shot. When you need to run the ball, you can run the ball. And guess what? You got to worry about 17's feet. Like, he will, if he's in shotgun, he will hand it off to 28 all day. And I don't even know if he had to do it, but, like, eventually he's going to pull it and he's going to get 13 yards.
Yeah.
And then, okay, well, what do we need to do? Oh, you want to take away some of our receivers? I got Warren just down the middle. Mo Alley Cox was great. I think Mo Alley Cox is one of the most underappreciated assets. We were talking about Mo Alley Cox at B-Dubs on Sunday during 1 o'clock. Like, he's an underappreciated asset.
Yeah.
And then, you got Pittman, you got Downs, you got Pierce as the deep threat. It's just, I feel like if you're a Colts fan, with how the division looks, I'm not telling you guys you're going to win the Super Bowl, but at least there's like we can go 10-7 and win the division. Like, it's not like crazy. You're going to lose games that you feel like you shouldn't. You might win a game you feel like you should. But after week 1, to me, as a non-Colts fan, it just looked like a team that can compete. Like, Lou looked awesome. I love what he was doing. But offensively, I just feel like you guys can do a lot. And sometimes Daniel's going to play bad. Like, let's just get ahead of it now.
Yep.
But I think that is what I thought Daniel Jones could be. So it's great to see. So there's my Colts spiel.
Thank you. No, that was awesome and better than I could have said it. And you nailed it. Like, the difference between Anthony and Daniel is Anthony would have made explosives that Daniel couldn't. Daniel opens up the offense in a different way that Anthony can't. Like, he can get Josh Downs involved, A.D. Mitchell, Pittman, Pierce, Warren. He can get all 5 guys involved. Where Anthony, it's like Pierce deep, Tyler Warren probably can bail him out. Other than that, like, you kind of lose Pittman. You kind of lose other guys. Like, Daniel can use everyone, and when you can use everyone, we're kind of talented with our receivers. And Tyler Warren just added a completely different element to the offense now. So it was fun to see. He's just a distributor. Like, that's what Daniel can be for this team.
And that's why the offensive line was such a big conversation, because it's like when he has time, like, he was good. Well, and as much as you want to say, like, the Dolphins suck, we were worried about their pass rush.
That's their best component of their team, for sure. Yeah.
And they were completely stifled. Yep. So I just think that there was a lot of positives coming out of there. And I sent you the text. I felt awkward sending it. Was like, I was more nervous about the Colts just because what this means to me. And so it was really good to see.
Thank you.
So I was happy.
We appreciate the support. And you're welcome all year. It's because I'm here now. I think there's a lot of people that are ready to go for this. Even if we know next week is going to be rough or whatever, let's just do it. Let's just do the damn thing. So, my most concerning, and I got to be, I was on this one. It's the Texans. And I said, this is going to be a low-scoring game. This is going to be a low-scoring game, and watch out because this Texans team has concerns. And, man, I worry about C.J. Stroud's health this year. I like the Rams. They're super well coached. I've always loved the Rams and McVay and Stafford especially. The Rams defense is not that good. Like, they're not that good. And the Texans did not invest in the offensive line. They traded Laramie Tunsil, who I'm not acting like is like still the all-pro, but he's a left tackle that's pretty damn good still.
He's a starting left tackle in the NFL. There's not 32 of them. There might be 32 jobs, but there's not 32 of them.
No, and we talked, they have 5 new guys on the offensive line, but it's not like 5 new upgrades. Like, they just put in 5 different bodies, and they looked worse than last year, and Nick Chubb is their running back. As I said in the preview, God bless him. That's not going to cut it. Outside of Nico Collins, you've got rookies and unproven guys all over the field. And Nico, and I know you'll get into that later, like, he might need help. Like, they just look, for as good as this defense is, they gave up 14 points, and still, like, it's not enough. And I feel bad for Stroud because I don't think he's a top 5 guy, but I do think he is starting to get really mismanaged by this organization, because this offensive line, another year, that it's just not going to be good enough. And he's doing everything by himself. And I worry about his health, because if the Rams defense is doing this to him, I don't see it, man. Like, this was a pretty disappointing outcome, I think, for the Texans for what they're going to be long-term this season, because I just don't know how much you can fix bad offensive line play that we saw again in week 1. So I'm concerned.
Yeah, this was my bold prediction, and obviously the
Yeah.
bold prediction was as wrong as it could possibly be. You say, hey, we let up 14 points. Like, I think the Texans are going to be able to do that a lot, and
A
the
lot.
offense was terrible. Nico Collins' route tree, I think, was a war crime. Feel free to look that one up on Next Gen Stats. Like, literally just wasn't even there. It was like non-existent. Like, there was no creativity in the offense. And that's just the thing where it's like frustrating. It's like, all right, you have the quarterback, you have a receiver one, you have a running back that I feel like you can count on, you have a tight end that I like. I know it's not the best wide receiver room you've ever seen, or the weapons room you've ever seen, but you know what? It's average, and there's a lot of teams that have it worse.
Mm-hmm.
And there was just nothing there. It was like they were doing it. I know we talked about it plenty of times last year. It's like, yeah, they just kind of kept getting like second and third and long. And then, it's hard to do that every drive over the course of 60 minutes of a football game. So, for a team that doesn't, in a division where the winner, I feel like, doesn't have to be great, the Texans kind of have what I thought to be the highest floor in this division. And now the ceiling just feels like it's just the floor, It's like, this is just what they are. And it's one thing to be a week one, but it's another thing when it's the same issues we saw last year. And I think that's the problem, where it's like, I don't feel like this is going to get better as the year goes on. I feel like it's just going to stay the same. So definitely a lot of concerns in Houston.
Yep. On the other side of the Rams, I don't have much. I don't have really anything, but I just love watching Matthew Stafford throw the football, and I hope he can continue to play as long as possible. The angles, the touch, I love him. I love Matthew Stafford. He's awesome.
I wanted to be our Giants quarterback. And I think a thing for him, too, is another guy where when he gets on the field and you're like, he needs to make the play to, seal the deal, makes the play.
That third and five, there was never a doubt. Never a doubt.
Great all 22. That flick, like just, oh my God.
Oh,
so
I know.
good.
He's just awesome. It gets me fired up. Let's get new helmet stickers.
Yep.
Your offensive player of the week is?
Look, we're not going to get too creative. It's Geno Jones. You can't score on every single offensive drive and not get a helmet sticker, in my opinion. The guy deserved it. I mean, if I bring up the box score real quick just to say what it was exactly, 22 for 29, 272 yards, 1 touchdown, and then running-wise, 2 more touchdowns with 26 yards, 3 touchdowns total. Like, just did everything you need. And I think that it was just a great performance, and I'm glad that he was getting the recognition I felt like he deserved on social media after that game.
All in on the dime train. Thank you for that. My offensive player of the week is my guy, one of my favorite quarterbacks in the league, Geno Smith. 24 of 34 in his first week with Chip Kelly in this offense. A touchdown throw, multiple third and long conversions, just ripping it. His heat map of the throws he made in this game, it just does something to me. Guys
are opposite of Nico Collins or hero, I'd argue.
The heat maps usually tell you what the coordinators think of your quarterback. It's like, I love Jalen Hurts, but his map the other night was like,
that was terrible.
Geno was throwing it all over the damn yard, and it's what he does. And he's going to have some bad throws in that, but he doesn't care. And I love fearless quarterback play. I love using the whole field. I love using 30-yard throws as much as your 5-yard throws, and that's what Geno does. And I love this Raiders team. And first off, we were up. The Patriots are not talented. Justin and I tried telling everyone this. This is the result of a non-talented team, but
I still don't understand how they're steamed in Vegas.
It's just insane. But Bowers, Meyer, Genty, Lil Jacoby Meyer, Trey Tucker deep when you need it. Like, they just have a lot of fun, different options, and I love them. I thought they played a really polished game for a first coach. I know it's Pete Carroll, first-year coach. He's like 1,000, but first-year coach with his new team, coordinator with his new team, quarterback with his new team, and I thought operationally they played pretty sound. And for the Raiders, that's a huge step, offensively for them, just to be sound. I love the performance. I thought it was a really good road win, and Geno was great.
Yeah, Geno was awesome. I think when we talk about, just week one matchups and not overreacting, it's like, you know what? The Raiders were completely new ball club, completely new everything, and starting over, new coaches, new coordinators, just new faces of the franchise, really, besides Crosby.
Right.
And I guess Bowers, who just really, I'm not even including last year's stuff. You're going on the road against a Patriots team that you know is going to be well coached. They don't have a lot of talent. Like, that's a game that could go very south. And it wasn't pretty, but they did everything they needed to. And the things that you wanted to see from this team, you saw. You saw the defense stifle a very poor, talented team.
Yep.
And then you saw offensively, like, they were making plays, and just the distribution of the ball is what was beautiful. It's another team where I think that they have, like, when we talk about, like, with the Texans, for example, like, this isn't the most, like, Genti and Bowers are great, but this is not the most talented weapon. Like, this is bottom half. I think if we took overall talent level, like, below the Texans, but we saw, like, what the offense could do still. Yep. And I think that's the biggest promising thing of, like, just seeing creativity, seeing different guys get the football, always keeping on your toes. They can run the ball. They'll try to take the deep shot. They got the guys, within the hash marks with Bowers and Michael Meyer. And so just a really impressive performance and just something to build on, right? Like, wasn't the most impressive win, but it was a win that you want to see as a Raiders fan.
Totally.
So
fired up. Great job, Geno. Your defensive player of the week.
I'm going Micah Parsons. Now, we can talk about, he only played 29 of the 65 snaps. He finished with 3 pressures, the second most on the Packers, and the results of those 3 pressures were a 2-yard loss on a completion, an interception, and a sack. I think on the 29 snaps that Parsons played, the Packers sacked Jared Goff 3 times and only permitted 2-point yards per play. The longest Lions gain when he was on the field was 16 yards. And I think if you looked at, like, time to throw, he literally dropped it from, like, 3.3 to 2.8. Like, he took a half second of time away from Jared Goff. Like, that is one of those things where I know he's hurt, they limited his plays, but, like, when he was on the field, it was a true difference maker. And if he just continues to get on the field more, like, this was him with less than half the plays. Like, if it grows to 75% of the plays, that's an absolute problem. Like, that's generational. And I think it's a team where, he's not the best on the run defense, but when you have the offense that they have, you have to if they put teams into passing situations, which they do and should do early. They did it to the Lions. Like, you put them down early, they have to throw the ball. This is what's going to be happening.
Yep.
Okay, so you can take him off on first down when people are more tempted to run the ball. Second and third down, you bring him in. Like, you don't need to bring him on the field all the time. But for, like, I think Dallas, he started off so hot because that Dallas team was so well, and we're like, wait, this guy can pin his ear back. And as Dallas got regressed, they're not playing with a lead as much. Teams were able to run the ball. We saw the limitations he is in the run game. I think when you put him on a team like this where it's just like, we're going to get the lead, and now we just need you to pin your ear back and get after the quarterback and take away half a second of his time, I think that's where we're going to see Micah Parsons shine. So for game 1 for the Packers, I mean, we talked about it earlier, but, like, what a resounding moment that was in Lambeau. So
it's terrifying. Like, the stat, it's terrifying because that's such a small sample size of what he's going to do. What a high ceiling they have. My defensive player of the week is a team. It's the Broncos. They were number 1 in every category defensively. They gave up 133 yards in this game. They gave up 12 points total. 3 of those points came from a massive kick return right at the end of the half, and then the Titans just kicked it. So they really gave up 9 points. At one point, there was a fumbled punt by the Broncos that the Titans recovered on, like, their 25 of Denver, and they got 2 massive sacks and took him out of field goal range. So, unbelievable. I know they are playing a rookie quarterback, and we said the Titans are probably going to struggle to score. And we'll talk about Cam. But on the flip side of this, not even a Bo thing, and we could talk about Bo. I thought it was an incredibly arrogant performance from Denver. I think it was a team that heard all offseason how much they were loved and praised, and this is the team that's going to take the Chiefs, and this is the team that's going to go to the Super Bowl, and Denver this, Denver that. They had no business winning this game. Like, they really had no business winning this game. Bo had really bad turnovers. They all seemed frustrated at each other. The defense played well, and then Sean Payton makes just an arrogant, ridiculous decision on 4th down. You're in Mile High, so a 53-yarder isn't that bad. And if you're not comfortable kicking it, take the 5 yards and punt it and make them go 80 yards. Instead, he lines up and throws it. He even had Cortland Sutton open, but Bo doesn't see it, launches the ball like 100 yards in the air, but he had to get rid of it.
I just want to say, like, I've been seeing all things, like, for Giants where it's like he missed it. The guy had 8 guys in his face the moment he snapped it. So, like, for anybody who's saying, like, he missed, like, I'm just like, he just had to throw the ball in the air. Like, get it
and
out.
he did. He did. He literally threw it as high as he could in the air. It's week 1. I think it was maybe a little humbling for them. I think they're going to be totally fine, but I was a little disappointed at how they played, offensively especially, and just it felt like a team that read the newspaper clips all offseason. But they find a way to win still.
You summed it up perfectly. We talked about the Packers. We talked about the Colts, just like the Raiders, teams that did their job, and I'm not going to overreact to because it's like that's what you're supposed to do against these teams. The flip side of this is the Broncos, where it's like you did not do what you were supposed to do at all. It was a poorly coached game. They shouldn't have won. Bo did not look good. And it just felt like one of those teams that played down to the level of their competitor. And you can't do that in this league over the course of an entire season. You got away with it. It's week 1. Like, you're going to have bad football games and we only have 1 game sample size. Like, let's see what happens when it's week 7 and we have a higher sample size. If this is a 4-2 game team that just keeps going up and down based on their competitors, the competition. But it's a lot of question marks to ask. And as a guy who loves this Broncos team and is a Bo Nix fan, it was alarming. And it was I thought Cam Ward, I asked, like, how's he going to look? I thought he looked fine. I think he needs to work on his touch a little bit. He was firing balls. And
God, those seams, he was throwing rockets on those seam balls.
Yeah, he was launching and, like, they weren't necessarily, I know they're hitting the receiver's hands, but like, they weren't necessarily well placed. But, he was seeing the field well. He was changing play calls. Like, they had opportunities to win this game. And a rookie quarterback put him in that opportunity, I thought, really well. And, like, I don't think the stats show how not impressed, but Cam Ward, I was asking, like, what's his body language going to be like? It's the 4th quarter, and he's getting on his guys, like, he's calling checks to the line of scrimmage, and he's throwing the ball where the ball needs to be thrown. And so I was really impressed with that. But there's 29 teams in this league that you can't play like that against. All right, You're lucky you played against one of the 3. Yep. So if I'm a Broncos fan, hopefully it's the slap in the face that you want it to be, and they respond well. You got an Indianapolis team that's feeling really good right now, next week, and we'll see what happens. But definitely a concerning game, but defensively they did do their job.
They did their job. So. No, I think you literally said it perfectly, and I think it's going to be, and I'll get to the coaching later. I just think Cam Ward, I don't think his box score this year is ever going to represent what he actually did on the field. Yeah. He needs a whole lot of help. He can clean up things, but I came away pretty impressed with him. Like you said it. He needs help. And we'll see. We'll get to that part later. But you nailed it. I think his box scores every week are just not going to tell you the story on how well he played.
No.
Yeah. The miscellaneous award. This can go to anything. Offense, defense, special teams, a player, a team, a coach, a moment. What is your miscellaneous award?
I can't. How do I pronounce his first name?
Terry. Yeah.
Terry Tart. The Chargers defensive tackle who is now going to be famous for slapping Travis Kelce. I think a couple things. First of all, that slap was awesome. Like, open-handed, the guy was giving him crap, and you just absolutely rock it. I mean,
he smoked him.
That was about as hard as you could hit a guy with an open hand.
Smoked him.
And that was just awesome. I think when you look at his stats, I think he had 1 tackle. But it was the pass deflections.
Huge.
In the second half when just putting his hands up. Theo Ash had a great video on it of, like, the entire first half, Mahomes he's known for he does these, like, just quick one-step dropbacks. He just rockets it at guys.
Yep.
And it was going right over his head, and he was playing an all-pro guard, and all of a sudden the second half of that game where he was deflecting balls, you could tell he wasn't going after Mahomes. He was just getting his hands up in the air and reacting to whatever Mahomes is doing. And I think it speaks to the reason why I wanted him to be my defense player of the game is it speaks to the things that defensively don't show up on the box score, right? Like, we see tackles, we see sacks, we see pressure, like, we see all these things, and you're like, well, what does that mean? And this is something that's not going to show up in the box score, but I think truly changed the game because it took away one of Mahomes' weapons. And to change in the middle of the game of just like, I'm not going to get after the quarterback. I'm not going to be able to do that. But how can I help my team win the game? Okay, I need to get my hands up in the air, read the, where the ball is. And he's not just putting his hands up willy-nilly. Like, he's legitimately getting in the passing lane and knowing exactly where it is. I just think that it speaks to just the defensive side of the ball and just the things that don't go seen in a stat chart, and also that slap was awesome. I can't stop watching.
That's one of the rare times where, because you're always like, why would you hit someone they have the helmet on? That was felt. The helmet did not matter. That was an all-time slap. Like, that was.
It was great. That sends a message. Like,
it did. They were not afraid of them at all.
No,
that's a good one. My miscellaneous is going to go to Emeka Ibuka, the rookie for the Bucks. I loved this pick. I love this player. I don't have really anything on this game. We're both high on this Bucks team. It's clear whoever you put in at quarterback or coach to the Falcons, you're going to have really weird games and losses like this one. So we'll see on the Falcons, but 4 catches, 67 yards, 2 tutties, and the game winner. He looked like a 10-year vet, and that's kind of what we thought we were getting from him. The Bucks are a really good team, and has a really gutty win without Wirfs to go on the road and find a way. So impressed by him, impressed by the Bucks. We're both high on them.
Yeah, Bucks. I mean, I loved everything I saw. Like, wasn't a pretty performance, but it was a winning performance on the road, divisional game. The Falcons are interesting. I don't even know what to think about them right now.
I'm going to wait on them. They play Monday night next week. I think that'll be a better view of them. Or Sunday night or Monday night?
It's Sunday night.
Game. They play the Vikings.
Yeah. Vikings back-to-back prime time is just,
I know, it's crazy.
4.5-point favorite over Atlanta.
I know. Like, JJ hasn't thrown we'll see. I think I would take that spread right now if I was a Falcons fan, but I don't know. Maybe the Vikings do. We'll see what happens. Before we get to the Bozo of the week, we'll end with the Bozo. Let's just go through Bengals, Browns. Give me a week on the Bengals. Disappointing. Found a way. Anything on that game?
I just can't. Like, they should have lost.
They should have lost. 100%. They had, 7 net yards in the second half?
And, well, first of all, that Myles Garrett coming up the middle of the pocket is truly one of the scariest videos I've ever seen.
That's one of those where
flying.
When you want to get mad at quarterbacks, just remember that play and what they deal with, because that was, and I'll still get mad at quarterbacks and rip them, but oh my God.
He comes out of nowhere. Nowhere. And it's just all of a sudden there's an orange helmet in your face, and he launches himself at Burrow.
All you can do is pray.
Kills the guy, it feels like.
Killed him.
They should have lost. I mean, they're a 36-yard field goal away. Like, that goes in 99 times out of 100. And I just don't understand these slow starts.
No.
The defense, that's a different conversation. We'll see what they look like.
We'll see what they look like next week. Yeah. Cards, Saints, anything?
Saints competed. Cardinals did their job.
Yeah.
I don't know that much.
Seahawks, Niners.
That was a weird game. I came away hating both teams.
I agree. When we started getting worried about who Seattle had besides JSN, that is a problem. Yep. That is just JSN. So
defense though, oh my gosh.
Oh, they're flying around.
Defense is awesome.
The boys were having fun. Every big play, they're just running around. I love them. I love the defense.
Yeah. That's a defense that I would love to just see guys like Chin, where it's just Tufanga, guys like that, where it's just these safeties that I love. I just want them on those kind of teams. So,
I guess I have this at the end, but Philly, Dallas.
Philly, I'm not worried about. I thought Hurts looked good, but then you're also you see the stats after in the charts. You're like, okay, that's kind of the Hurts that I feel like he did everything he needed to do, but it just wasn't the best. He just doesn't throw the ball downfield. Dallas looked like a problem.
I mean, that's the best Dak's looked in 4 years.
Dak looked great. CD still drops it. I think Javonte Williams is the old school Dallas running back that you need to have.
Philly's secondary is a real problem, but this team's also so talented. They're going to win the division still. But the secondary is a problem.
Yeah.
Adoree Jackson that might have been the worst performance I've seen from a defensive back in a long time.
He was getting picked on. That was bad. That was really bad. That was bad.
I think that's all, except, of course, we got to get into Commanders Giants.
Yeah. I wrote down my thought. I don't need to get into I just need to share it just because I need to get it off my chest.
Yeah.
So I wrote down
that's
some
why we have the podcast.
But, I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty because I might save that for just a separate podcast, and also that's just a different conversation. But there was a reason why I did not get all excited about this New York Giants team. There was a lot of hoop all around me, and sometimes I caught myself thinking best case scenario, but I stayed reserved of I'm not going to believe. It's because 5 months ago I tweeted out, nothing will change with this team until we get rid of this coaching staff and this front office. And I'm not going to believe until then. And as much as I hate being right about the Giants sometimes, this is the most time of I hate being right, because I went back and I read my tweets from when they announced that they were going to keep Shane and Brian Dabble, and I was furious. And 5 months ago feels like an eternity ago, but I'm that's why I was so mad. I did not think they deserved to come back. We gave them an extra year, and it makes no sense. And I had to sit through this entire season just of a wasted year. And it's just with how promising the talent is, you just knew, the vibes seemed good or whatever, but you just knew deep down, this team, it was all fake. There wasn't going to be a step forward. And it's just and it was just a great reminder. I'm glad it was early. It was a great reminder of why coaching and front offices matter so much in the NFL. And you know what? I've defended Dabble at times or whatever, and I want to see him early. Let's be honest. This was always Dabble. Dabble sucks. I think one of the most crazy things is this is year 4. Our offensive points per game, 21 in 2022. Let's remind you, that's Gettleman's team. That's when Coach O wins the national championship with LSU. It's that's not his team. That's Gettleman and Joe Judge's team. 2023, 15 points per game. The only teams that were worse were Carolina and New England. 2024, 16 points per game. The only team that was worse was Cleveland last year. We've had no change at offensive coordinator. None. How do you go 2 years scoring less than 17 points per game, and you don't even change your OC? So then it's okay, well, this is clearly Brian and Kafka working together. He's going to use Kafka as a scapegoat eventually. We'll get into the whole other things. But at the end of the day, it's it's frustrating for me, especially when you just see what Daniel Jones did, where the offensive creativity, we're blaming quarterbacks. We're asking for Dart right now. How is Dart the answer? It's we've had, 6 quarterbacks play under the Brian Dabble regime since 2022. 6 quarterbacks. Not one of them has looked like a competent quarterback. Not one of them has taken shots downfield. We get guys like Neighbor. We had Saquon Barkley on this team and we're scoring 15 points per game. Let's stop acting like the quarterbacks are the problem, the offensive line's the problem. There's so many teams that are worse on line, worse weapons, worse whatever, who can score 20 points per game, over 16, 17 games and not do that is absolutely insane. I'm sick and tired of the offensive line stuff. I'm sick and tired of saying, you go online, it's O-line, O-line, O-line. Also, let's stop acting like Andrew Thomas is the answer. He's played 16 games since 2022. All right? We pay the guy. We're better with him on the field. We can't rely on him to be on the field.
Yeah.
And at some point, we have to blame Joe, because teams can somehow fix offensive line in 1 year. Our offensive line has gotten worse in 4 years. That makes no sense. And I'm sick and tired of blaming the offensive line, because it's just that's been the issue for everything. So I don't want to bring in now Jackson Dart and we're going to be well, what happens when he gets an O-line? Because I said the same thing with Mr. Daniel Jones for 3 years. I said, what happens when he gets an offensive line? We're never going to get an offensive line against them. So the only way, again, for the offense for us to score is to have long sustained drives. We can't do that. We have no creativity. We don't throw the ball downfield. There's no explosive plays. It's I have to pray that we have 3rd and 3. Because we're also not going to convert on 3rd down. So it's just every quarterback looks the same. Our talent, we have talent, and to get progressively worse every year and then to say we have not scored a touchdown in 3 straight opening games is absolutely insane. And there's one constant common denominator in all of this, and it's Dabble and Joe Shane. We knew they weren't the answer. We gave them an extra year for Dart. Now everyone's asking for Dart. It's going to look the same. Dart's not the answer. And you know what's going to suck is, like, if Dart looks competent, we're going to give them another year just for this to, like, it's absolutely insane for me to be in 2025 and say that Joe Judge and Dave Gettleman were better than the New York Giants than these two. Just because they made the playoffs 1 year, and it was a great year, but at the end of the day, I don't think we can fully give it to them because it was their first year, and we have gotten so much worse. And then defensively, it's the other thing where it's like, we have the best defensive line in football. Hey, let's stop rushing 4 guys. Shane Bowen, like Brian Bird's talking about, we need a 5th guy to rush. Like, when you look at the pressure rates or whatever, they're fine. I don't understand how, I'm sick and tired of the Kayvon stuff. I think he sucks. I don't know how he's getting the most snaps. Abdul Carter looks great. He's not even playing half the snaps. But there's no push. I get we get sacks on it's frustrating because if we're gonna rush 4 every time, we can't get to the quarterback every time. Bring 5, bring 6, make them not double team our generational talents. We have a generational defensive player in Abdul Carter, I believe. We have a generational defensive tackle in Lawrence Taylor. Brian Barnes is one of the best edge rushers in the NFL. And, like, if Kayvon's number 4, that's a really good number 4. As much as I hate Kayvon.
Yeah.
This is going off the rails, and I really don't care.
Nope,
Commanders offense, 2nd and 16, 16-yard pass, first down. 2nd and 19, 13-yard pass and 11-yard run, first down. 2nd and 21, 9-yard pass, 21-yard pass, first down. 2nd and 19, that's the only one we caused a punt. 2nd and 14, defensive holding, auto first down. 2nd and 17, 12-yard run, 19-yard pass. 2nd and 15, 15-yard pass. I just listed us, 7 times that we had 2nd and 14 or worse. Only 1 resulted in a punt. That's insane. So at the end of the day, all of this to say, this is the clip. No matter what we talk about with the New York Giants, this is going to be the team until we change the front office and the coaching staff. Because at the end of the day, the talent's gotten better, but the roster management's somehow gotten worse. Our offense has gotten a lot worse schematically. We haven't improved anything. We're making 0 changes. The quarterback, whoever we put in, is a guy who you're either saying stinks or you're making excuses about offensive line, and there's only one common denominator in it all, and it's Brian Dabble and his little buddy Mike Kafka, who they said we're going to bring him on the sidelines because that's going to make the play calling better. I said it on the tweet, put him in the Goodyear blimp, and we'll see what happens there. Because for some reason, every change we're making is everything but the one change that needs to be made. And now it's September 8th, and I'm talking about firing a coach. It's a wasted season. This NFL season sucks, and I'm sick and tired of doing this, and I have to do it for another year. And I swear Jackson Dart's going to go in. It's going to be even worse because if he looks good, then we're going to probably have to keep him. If he looks competent, I should say. He's not going to. I promise you that. And if he looks bad, now I have to worry about a new quarterback and a new everything. So at the end of the day, I think we're the hottest mess in the NFL. John Morris stinks. And my God, I think Brian Dabble is my least favorite Giants coach of all time.
Well, I'm sorry, first off.
When I wrote down notes to make it better, that was terrible.
I think that was your best. I think that was your best rant of all time. I do. It was it was good. I really do. I think that was your best rant of all time, and it's fair. And I think what started to worry me and then piss me off, Friday night, I see a tweet. It's like Diana Rossini or one of these people, and they're like, "There's a package for," or maybe it was Saturday. There's a package for Jackson Dart. I'm like, okay, kind of weird that someone's leaking this out. Whatever. Sunday morning, it gets leaked out that like Jackson Dart's ready. Like Jackson Dart's like we love. I'm like, is Dabble and these cowards already hedging what's about to happen? And they're all like, they were. Yeah. They were already scapegoating Russ before he even played, just to be like, hey, this is gonna go bad, but like wait till you see what we've got coming up here. Like, and they just keep the narrative going to keep their job. And I've seen it because Ballard's like, it's just this nonstop. No, like wait till you see Dart, and then like you said, he'll play well, and it's like, see, this is what I needed. Dart's gonna go have a like you said, and then wait, we just need more. He needs no line, and then it's like you're going mental. It never ends. I couldn't believe when they released that Sunday morning. I'm like, oh my God, They're doing it already. It hasn't. They haven't even kicked off game 1. Yeah. I couldn't believe it.
And the thing about it, I got asked. They're like, "Are you excited?" And I go, "I don't understand how I would say putting my rookie quarterback in for a package of where he's going to probably run the ball and get hit."
What's the package? I didn't understand it.
It's like, oh, it's going to be like Arch Manning.
He's not Lamar
Texas.
Jackson.
And it's like,
no, he's not that.
Oh, so he's going to run the ball and get hit. Like, I don't need that from my rookie quarterback. And that reminds me of the biggest thing about Mike Kafka that I forgot to say. We had 13 plays inside of the 10-yard line yesterday. I think we had 9 plays inside of 3 yards. 0 touchdowns.
That's insane. That's almost
First
impossible.
and goal from the 3-yard line, we bring in a tackle who hasn't played a snap in the NFL, and we try to run a trick play to him. We didn't run the ball 1 time. You could run the ball 4 times with that bad of an offensive line. I promise you're going to get the ball closer, most likely in the end zone.
Yeah.
And it's just the moment we try to get creative is the moment we shouldn't be creative, and the moment that we should be creative and take shots is when, like, I think Russell Wilson had 1 attempt longer than 20 yards, and it was like 21 yards. And I think he had like 3 between 10 and 15 yards. And it's the same stuff every single time. And it's just like everyone knew it was coming. Yep. Like there was so many plays where it's like, oh my God, they read that like a book because it's been the same philosophy every year. So it's just, if they put like, they're going to put Dart in. And I just don't, and it's frustrating because people are acting like Dart is going to save us. It's
unfair.
They're going to use that when they feel like they're on the hot seat. We've seen this. Dabble's going to take back play calling eventually. Dart's going to play, and
oh my God, the play calling switch again. God bless it. Enough. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Like, how is Kafka still there?
I don't know. I don't know.
And also, this is a guy who, like, Josh Allen was the thing that got him hired. You could argue Josh Allen has been a lot better the last 4 years.
He's gotten better. It's insane. Like, I mean, you could do it for a lot of guys. Like you said, Saquon, like Xavier McKinney was an all-pro last year. Leonard Williams turned out like got really good again. Like, and it's not a coincidence. It's the staff. It's this staff. It's very obvious. Like the Daniel Jones is just a blimp of what it's been. Like,
you're bringing up great points. I forget. Yeah, like Saquon Barkley, we had him on the team and we scored 15 points. We actually increased our amount of points per game by 1 without Saquon Barkley on the team. He went to Philadelphia and became like the best running back season we've seen.
Yeah.
We had him in our room with his offensive guru.
Yeah.
And we weren't able to do anything with it. And the O-line is a problem. And that's a Joe Shea thing because our O-line has gotten worse. And dude, this is crazy when we look at the the things of like 2022. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of 11 draft picks were terrible. Micah McFadden and Wandale, I guess you can say, are hits just because they're regular starters, and like Kayvon and Flat will still see. But he missed on Evan Neal.
I mean, he missed on Neal. That's a miss. Like that's a miss for what you're picking them to be. That's a top 10
pick. 2
pick.
Offensive line picks in the first 3 rounds, both complete busts.
Yep.
Then 2023 draft, Zach. This is the draft. Deonte Banks. He played 11 snaps.
He's psychotic. Yeah.
He's terrible. John Michael Schmidt. Another. I'm still waiting for the offensive line draft that works. He's like the worst center. Like needs to leave the team. Jalen Hyatt, who we refused to trade, didn't play a snap. Eric Gray. I don't even think he's... And Trey Hawkins. Eric Gray is not on the team. He's a running back. I think he was the UCF guy. Trey Hawkins. I don't even know. Jordan Riley and Gervarius Owens. All that to say, we had an entire 2023 draft. His first draft of like being able to prepare the entire time. So like, okay, we'll put 2022. He was hired in. This is your first real draft. Didn't hit on a single prospect. Not one. And then he had last year Malik Neighbors, Tyler Nubin, like Andrew Phillips, Tyrone Tracy, like some decent ones. But we have not hit on a single offensive line draft pick under Joe Shea. And honestly, I think we've hit... And Malik Neighbors was a can't-miss prospect, but other than that, like Tyrone Tracy, I think was a good pick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the game change. Like, to go Kayvon and Evan Neal at 5 and 7.
That's where that's where the clap starts. So,
and literally an entire draft class from 2 years ago is gone. Like, does nothing for us.
And those guys are still going to the office today.
They still have a job. And we had an opportunity to reset. And the worst thing you do in the NFL is wait because it gets worse. We say that every year.
Yep.
So, and I think all of that, to sum it up, unless you have something else to say.
Nope.
I think I'm going to try to do like just one Giants deep dive podcast maybe the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
I just can't, like, I don't know. I tempered expectations.
Yeah.
Like that performance, I didn't even expect to win. That performance was so bad that I was like, I couldn't sleep and I was shaking this morning because it was just like, we're doing this again. And this is why we have the dumbest fan base in football, because these people are the tweet. I need to get off. I was on Twitter just firing tweets last night. Like, I needed to get off, but I couldn't because every time I'd say I need to get off, I'd see one more tweet that I needed to either reply to, retweet, or screenshot or something.
Right.
I can't do it. Like, if we bring in Dart and he looks good, I'm cool. I hope he looks like a generational talent.
Sure.
I know I did my best to temper expectations, and yeah, sometimes, the thoughts of glory got the best of me, but at the end of the day, those are just every once in a while thoughts. Like, I truly deep down knew that this was not going to work, and I knew it was a problem, and I'm glad that I realized it after week 1, because I can't do this for the rest of the season. And I can't do this with Dabble and Shane. I can't. Like, I truly, I don't want to, I'm going to watch the games because I'm a fan. I'm going to watch them, but I'm not going to do this whole emotional rant every time. I'm going to make my classic jokes that I was doing all last season where it's like one comment, next thing.
Right.
We're going to win games. I still think we're a 6-win team. Like, we have the talent to do that, but we can. It's amazing how they've gotten this far, and it's not talked about more of how bad it is. Truly, how bad it is of a team with the talent we have. Like, we have talent in places that matter, and we're still so bad. And all I can say is I hope it's worth it. Like, I'm walking back from 7-Eleven today, and I'm thinking about it, and I'm just like, man, these moments hopefully will make the mountaintop of in 10 years, if we're competing again, worth it. I hope that there's a light at the end of the tunnel with this fandom that makes it worth it, because I love the New York Giants so much. It pains me. It keeps me up at night. And I just pray that one more time in my life will I experience the glory. Like, one more time. I took it for granted as a kid. I just pray one more time I get to experience it. And I hope it's all worth it. But I tell you, it won't happen with Dabble and Shane in my building.
Well done. And I'm sorry.
I appreciate that.
Let's end it with the Bozos of the week. Bozos of the week. Surprisingly, those guys are not on it. The Bozo Dubbed Over Award, a fan favorite, one of our favorites. It's a good one every year. Who is the first to make your list of the Bozo Dubbed Over?
I mean, look, Eagles fans, I hate to do it because you know me. Like, you guys, I hate to pick on you guys because I try my best not to. Jalen Carter. You just spit on the guy before the season even started. And your DQ.
He didn't play a snap.
Changed the entire game.
Totally. It completely changed. He's one of the best players in the league.
and all of a sudden, they're like, they said after the game, like, yeah, we expected that. Like, we weren't going to be able to run the ball, and we were able to run it right down their throats. And it shows you how important he is, because then all of a sudden they got to bring another guy in the box, and now Dak's opening up the passing lanes. I mean, that game should have been a 13-point win for the Eagles. And it was a game that the Cowboys should have won because you spit on a player. And look, Dak spit in his direction. But that does not mean it was not intentional. He says I spit a lot. Dak, you know what? Credit to Dak, because he was like, hey, I feel bad. I spit. I did not spit at him. I just spit at my offensive lineman because I spit a lot. And then to just come and spit on him, though,
insane
there's
behavior.
No excuse.
Insane human behavior.
And shout out Eagles fans. For everyone on the Eagles fans, we're like, no,
they're so mad at him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is something I'll have to give Philly fans credit for. Way to stand up, because you know what? Some of us may have thought that Eagles fans wouldn't have stood up for it.
Yeah.
But they did.
Just an inhumane thing to do. That was insane. A torn ACL and a spit. They hadn't even snapped on offense yet. It was unbelievable what happened.
It's like 3 seconds into the season.
I don't know that guy's name because the Jalen Carter.
When he was sitting there.
Sorry for that guy.
He just said, "What the f?"
And yeah, that sucked.
That was sucked. But yeah,
and then the moment got taken.
I still can't believe he spit on him.
No, it's a great one. My Bozo Dubbed Over award is going to go to, I was kind of alluding to it, Brian Callahan, coach of the Titans. This guy stinks. He's getting mad at reporters talking about what a catch is, losing his cool. At the end of the half, they're about to go into halftime with a lead, playing decent against Denver. He's on his own 5. He throws it 3 times. With a rookie quarterback against the best defense in the league, Denver gets the ball. They score in like 3 plays. It changed the game.
Yeah.
I have no idea what this guy's doing. He was getting the benefit of the doubt last year because of Levis. It still didn't feel right. Then the only reason he brings in his dad, because he's this all-time offensive line coach, to try to like bail him out, basically. Brings daddy in to try to save his job. Like, this guy stinks. Cam Ward has no chance with him in this receiver corps. Like, that was when you get that mad after a game at the reporter because when you're wrong, huge red flag. The decision at the end of the half lost them the game in a game that was very winnable. Like, Levis was awful. I'm not defending. Like, this guy stinks. And I don't think it's going to improve. I feel bad for Cam Ward.
Maybe I was wrong about Will Levis. Maybe Will Levis was in a bad spot.
Maybe, yeah.
We'll never know. We'll never know. But I'm just going to say maybe I was wrong. I even think we're missing the worst part of it, which is not challenging the catch, which...
He didn't... Yes, he didn't... Yeah.
And then he said an elbow doesn't equal 2 feet.
Wrong.
But it does.
Wrong.
Like,
you're wrong.
You're down. If an elbow is down, then yes, it does.
Also, someone told him in the headset to challenge it. There's no way no one said don't challenge it, and he shook them off.
No one did. That brings back the point. Every team, give me $100,000 in travel expenses paid, and you know what? Maybe a little bit more on the per diem, so I can enjoy stay. And I will sit here, and I will only turn on my microphone when I say challenge. Yep. Every team should have that.
As calm as could be. Elbows 2 feet. Challenge it. Done.
Elbows 2 feet. That's a catch. And that's your job. And you know what? It's like a 3-strike rule where, hey, and I'll go in front of the media and I'll say, hey, hand up. I said challenge it. I reacted too quickly. That's on me.
Imagine the tweets at you if they hired just a random guy to come in and you made that mistake. And you would get crucified.
Going in front of the media on a Zoom call with like a Titans background with like the logos. Hey, that's right here. That's right. Gotta be better. I wasn't. But what's funny about it is I saw a tweet where it's like somebody was like, Brian Callahan didn't know that this was a catch, and that just shows how insane the rules are when the coaches don't understand. It's like no.
Very clear rule.
First of all, I get that we get, the catch, is it not a catch, is it a catch? Like, I guess that's a common thing. We don't work in the NFL.
Correct.
I expect NFL coaches, especially offensive-minded NFL coaches, to understand what a catch is. I've understood that an elbow is 2 feet in the NFL my entire life.
Very clear.
And I'm not going to sit here and say I'm NFL coach material, but I'd like to think all the 32 guys in the league know that. That is such a red flag.
Oh man, it's bad.
He might be the next guy with an engraved name.
I have eyes on him. Yeah.
Let's just remind the people, what are the engraved names?
Nathaniel Hackett, I think, was year 1.
Staley
was year 2. I mean, Pierce, Antonio Pierce made it a ton.
Yeah. But was it always Hackett and Staley? I was trying to think if we had another one. We have to go back and look at
it.
But
I mean,
yeah, there's a couple engraved.
Hackett
names,
and Staley are the gold standard. Like they're going to be hard to beat. Like that's.
And I think maybe we just say those are the only 2 engraved names. I think Callahan's working his way up. This is hard to beat. It was clock management. It was challenge management. It was rule management.
Literally, your job was wrong.
And this is my call to Titans fans: $100K a year. Travel paid
in Nashville. I mean, that's might bump that up.
I'll clean the toilets too while I'm at it. But you know what? I'm gonna know when to challenge a call or not.
Oh man, bad.
Maybe pay for my NBA. But we got so much money in this league. We can make that work. You know what? I'm open to negotiations. I'm just saying some things I'd potentially like.
I'll be there in 2 weeks. Colts are playing there. I'm going. I'll try to get in touch with their people. Get in touch with your people.
Yeah, give me a business card.
Yep.
Give me a business card.
Oh man, that was a lot. Every team plays. These are going to be long. Hope you enjoyed it.
Didn't help that there was a 15-minute Giants rain in the middle of it.
Yeah, that's all right. It's their fault, not yours. Any closing thoughts?
Rutgers are the MAC champions right now.
Okay.
Beat Ohio and Miami of Ohio, which was the MAC championship last year. So I might make a T-shirt. Who knows? But
send that to our good friends at Bleacherheads.
That's about all I got.
Enjoy Monday night, Bears fans. You're not going to hear this until tomorrow, but you're probably not going to listen if it goes poorly. I just can't wait to watch this game. I really hope it goes well. I'm so nervous for them.
I don't know why. I think this is the game I'm most excited to watch out of all the entire slate. I just don't know what's going to happen.
He tweeted it at God this morning. He tweeted at God.
I saw that.
That's where he's at mentally. We've all been there.
We'll see if he's a Bears fan.
We'll see if he's a Bears fan. Enjoy Monday night. We'll get you ready for week 2. Burke, take us out.